Curtis A reached out to me, said make a theme song for my show. Said alright, just give me all the details, man. And my homie says he don't know. Well, if you're gonna pay me big bucks, guess I might should have something to say. He said, you know what I bring, I'm the customizing king, nothing else matters anyway. So is he gonna have guests? I don't know. Is he gonna go live? I don't know. What time will it be? What will you see? I'm pretty much in the dark, but I can guarantee he'll be customizing action figures, getting paint all on his fingers. It's art by Akerman. It's art by Akerman. Tips and tricks and conversation, sharing his gift with every nation. It's art by Akerman. Art by Akerman. You best get ready, cause now it's time for Art by Akerman.
All right, welcome back, folks. This is another How'd They Do That? This is the series where we talk to creative folks within our community and talk about their art, whether it's customizing, painting, pop and swap, styles, drawing, and photography. And today we're going to be talking to one of my favorite photographers and also just an all-around great dude. If you're on the East Coast, you may see him at a bunch of shows lined up early with that morning crew. You may see him at Guaisagüe's house, just having celebrations and hanging out. Although, if you're watching this, you get no cake. Just so you know, no cake for Jesse. So for only the second time in the whole How'd They Do That series, I do have a little intro video for my guest. So here we go.
Oh, I see you have found the ghost of Rhaegor's dagger. What shall you do with such great power, AI boy? What will you do?
He's not the thief! Flipping birds have nerves. From the three. Ooh la 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 la. From the stats. Come and start. He's not the three. Propagate gang. Lacertaphoto. The three. Ooh la 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 la. The three. Ooh la 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 la. Flash boom! He's the king of the lens, top freak, master of the purple tide, master of the night, it's top freak. Lacertaphoto.
That Lacertaphoto Dub 3 song goes hard, and here he is, Dub 3 in the house. What's up, man?
What a way to start. Freaking Jordan.
Song. I love it.
Man.
So thank you for coming on. I appreciate it. We're definitely going to get into a lot of your photography and talk some really cool stuff. But first off, I'm putting the title together here, and I'm like, how'd they do that with William Wallace Harris III, a.k.a. Dub 3, a.k.a. Lacertaphoto? You're the man of many names. So,
well, some given, some acquired.
So what is your preferred? Like when people see you out and about, they see you at a con. What do you prefer to be called?
Well, it's usually I go by Will, but most people know me as they just say Dub now. So it's like,
gotcha.
That's usually what I expect when I go to a show. I'm like, hey, Dub. I'm like, oh, okay.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, appreciate you being on. So obviously in this series, we talk about people's art, and you do some fantastic photography. Not only of, we're going to look at a lot of your, all of your toy photography, but even just like your normal pictures look fantastic. So like if I'm at a con and I didn't take a lot of pictures and I need something for like a photo book, or, a lot of times Darla does this like Legion's Con photo book for me each year, and some pictures we put on the walls and stuff. I'm like, well, let me go see what Dub has, because like even just like your regular photos of people are fantastic.
Well, that's normally what I used to shoot a lot of just like event photography. So like people like in their element and like usually easy to do.
Yeah. Very cool. Well, let's get into the toy photography side of it. So let me throw us down here at the bottom. So I usually try to put one, you have a thumbnail that really catches people. And I think this is the one that blew me away this year more than any others.
I know it's like your favorite one.
Yeah. Well, I think, first of all, I think it's the best photo that's been taken of the legendary barbarian. I don't think anybody, no offense to Trevor or anybody else out there, but I feel like this is the best photo that's been taken of it. And the fact that you did it within like a couple hours of this thing being released for the first time makes it even that much more impressive. So yeah, tell us a little bit about this one.
Well, it was funny because we went to ZoloCon, and sometimes like we went early. Like my son's like, we woke up super early. Like, hey, ask my son, like, hey, you want to go now? Like, yeah, let's get down there. We'll see who we can beat down there.
Mm-hmm.
We were first ones in line. We're like, okay, it was like 4:00 in the morning. We're first ones there. Like, okay, cool. But I have Parkinsons, so sometimes going to a con takes a lot out of me.
Yeah.
But I was like, it was in the afternoon. I was like, you want to go home? He's like, yeah, we'll go home. I'm like, I want to get pictures of this barbarian because this thing is just freaking amazing.
Right.
So I'm like flying home. I'm like, all right, let's just go.
And like, as you're driving home, are there like ideas like rushing through your head on what you want to do?
I had an idea. Like I knew what dio I wanted to use, and I was like, I had it picked out. I'm like, all right, I'm going to use this because it looks like a wasteland. And I'm like, put it up. I had an idea of what I wanted to do, but once I got home, I was like, all right, just boom, 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 threw it together. It was like done. I was like, holy crap, that was like probably the easiest one I've done all year.
It's fucking awesome. So first off, like the dio, is that something that you put together? Do you purchase those? Like how do you get your stuff that you use for photography? This
one I made, and it took like a period of like a couple months because I just grabbed the 24 by 24, the styrofoam you get at the Home Depot and stuff.
Yeah.
And I made one a base, and I made the back like all a rock wall with the cave in it and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then those trees I got at Walmart for like, no, those at Target. During Halloween season, they had these little like black trees, and I pulled them out of the pot they had them in, and I made little holes in the styrofoam and just plugged them in. After I painted them, of course, because I didn't want to be black.
Are they plastic or?
Yeah, they're plastic. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Like you can
some
see
people use like actual like sometimes you can go to, I think it's like Hobby Lobby stuff. You can get like where it's like actual tree branches and stuff.
Yeah.
Broken up into a bag and stuff. So
you can see on the tree that there's little marks where like it's like ribbed or whatever, like it fits on little pegs.
Oh, okay. I didn't even notice that. So, in fact, I still can't. Yeah. So this looks fantastic. I love. Now, what about like the light in the background where it looks like stuff's on fire? Is that part of the dio, or is that lighting that you did?
Well, that it's kind of part of the dio because like in the back I made a cave, and then like I got a terrarium wall, and I put that behind it, and then I put like a little. There's like lighting underneath in between the wall and the cave, so it looks like it's like lit up like fire.
Gotcha. Yeah, it looks fantastic. And then you've got the photo to where it's kind of like turned.
Tilted. Is that what they call it, the Dutch angle or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that because when I was talking to, I think we had somebody on Shooting the Shelf, and like I was just giggling the whole rest of the time because I was thinking of Dutch ovens. So any tips, as if people are just getting into this, like any kind of initial tips that you would have for them on doing this kind of thing?
Well, I mean, the biggest thing is like experimentation. Like, don't be afraid to try different things. Like sometimes I get in the zone and I just do the same thing, and I'm like, but sometimes you got to push yourself like out of your comfort zone, try different things and see if they work. There's a lot of like negatives that come out, and you're like, oh crap, this photo sucks. This photo sucks.
Yeah.
Start deleting stuff. But if you're just starting, don't be focused so much on your camera as much as you focus like on lens.
Mm-hmm.
Like Trevor said, like, and I know it's funny because you already had two amazing photographers on, The Amazing and Trevor, and I'm like,
well, I had Nate Strong earlier too. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you had Nate too. There's like three amazing photographers already. Like, they pretty much touch base on all of it, but like lenses is the most important thing to me because like that's where you get a lot of you want your effectively your depth of field where you have your focus like on the one figure and have the rest blurred out. Like I love doing photos like that.
I love how he's just like getting ready to crush this like skeleton's head, like just gonna step right on it.
Yeah, it's just like and it's nonchalant too. Like he's like, yeah, whatever, it's just a skeleton.
Yeah, and I think for the photograph, it would probably be easier if his foot was actually on the skull, but it's actually just like hovering just over it, right?
There's just a little bit on the edge where like it touched, and like luckily it balanced and it looked okay. I was like,
yeah, it's really cool. So, so I know you had already you touched on your Parkinsons and kind of how that affects like, you know, just being able to spend a lot of time at cons and stuff.
Yeah.
But how does that work into like as you're doing this photography? Because, you know, I know, you know, some of these are very elaborate setups. You got a bunch of stuff on a table and lights and all this kind of stuff, and you're trying to pose things in a certain way. Sometimes you'll have things that are not in a static pose, like they're in more of movement.
Yeah.
So tell us about like how you managed to get through that, because, and the reason, and I want to ask this question is because I think there's it's really easy for people to make an excuse on why they can't do this stuff, right? Like, I'm not any good, or I don't have the time, or I don't have the equipment, or I don't have this and that. But you know, there's something to be said for just like doing it, even if you're not having a good day, even if you're not feeling it, even if you feel like you're stumbling and making mistakes, just kind of do it to get it out of your system. So
like there's times like, luckily meds help a little bit. So there's a lot of times like when I do photos, I have to time it just right, because if my meds are like they call it an off time. That's where like the meds wear off and you like your tremors will come back and it's harder to do things. So setting up stuff is actually probably the worst part, because like I don't know, setting something up, I'll try to pose a figure, and then my tremor will happen and I'll knock everything over. I'm like, damn it, I'm not gonna start again. And this is like a repeated thing of like trying to be careful setting things up. And I used to shoot freehand, like The Amazing, like he won't use a tripod.
Right. Yeah, he talked about just kind of like taking I think he said, what did he say? Like over like a couple week period, he had like, you know, 7,000 shots.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, holy moly.
And I like being able to shoot freehand because, like, you know, you can get different angles that aren't so hard to get. You normally, because with a tripod, it depends on what kind of tripod you got also too, but sometimes it's limited on what you can do. So I used to shoot freehand. When the Parkinsons came along, I got worried about it because I used to do a lot of content photography, and then like I did it until I couldn't do it anymore. Because now balance is an issue, and that's why I started doing more toy photography. And then that's like I'll use a tripod, set everything up, and it'll be a lot easier, so I don't have to worry about holding it steady. Because even getting older, most people like get shakes anyway.
Have you ever had a situation where you had something kind of set up the way you wanted it to or something, and then like you said, that one of those things happened where things fall over and stuff, and then when you're resetting it up, like you think of something different, or like it kind of like a happy little accident situation?
Yeah, sometimes that happens. Like, oh, well, then sometimes it's the opposite too. They're like, oh, I think I have everything right, and then I upload them to the computer. I'm like, son of a, I don't like any of them.
Things out of place or
like,
whatever.
Or I forgot to do something because like. I was like, man, this sucks, and I gotta go like try to set it up again. And I'm like,
see, I know, I don't know how he does it at home, but I know like when Trevor does his thing at Intern, he's got his camera like hooked up directly to the computer. So as he's like taking,
that would be helpful.
It's like shooting right over there, and he can see it, and he can see, okay, do I need to add a little smoke here? Do I need to change the angle, or do I need to adjust the lighting card or whatever? And like you said, with a tripod, you're able to kind of recreate that same shot and just make a minor adjustment, as opposed to where you're kind of, you know, trying to, how was I positioned? What was this like? And, you know, that kind of thing.
And that's the thing too. Like I'm limited on space. Like my shots are all like they take place on my kitchen table.
Nice. Well,
I used to have, like, an office.
some good shots for a kitchen table, that's for sure.
I used to have like an office like where I would be able to set things up, and I wouldn't have to worry about putting everything away and whatever. But now it's like I got to put stuff up, take it down, put stuff up, take it down, and it's like between lights and like what I'm using for the dio and everything factors into like how much I can do. I'm like, crap, and I got to take it all down.
Well, I'm trying to like hit you because this is really supposed to be like very educational and stuff. And I know, like you said, we've already talked to a few photographers.
Yeah.
One thing that I failed to ask those other guys that I'm going to ask you is, how do you keep track of all these dio pieces? Because I look at your photos and I'm like, he's got a cell here and he's got this, wasteland, and he's got this throne setting and he's got this and that. Like, do you have like, how do you have your stuff stationed, and then how do you know what to grab for a certain photo?
It's funny because like there's some parts that like there's dio pieces really all around the house. Like,
gotcha. There's
one of a gazebo that Josh Green did like a couple of months ago, and I bought it off him. But it's a big gazebo, and this thing's freaking big. And I'm like, I have no order. It's like sitting on a desk next to my kitchen table.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then there's the cover customs columns I got here in these pictures, and they're easy because I can put them anywhere.
Right.
Because they're pretty compact. You can put them anywhere, and they're just great. I was so glad when he started making those because I was like, I wanted columns to begin with. I made one of my own, but I didn't like it as much as his did. I'm like nowhere near that. I'm like, holy crap.
Yeah, I know he's been working on a bunch of those for Legion's Con. I don't. Do you remember what the price on it was?
I think it's $50 for a set now.
That's what I thought too, and that's lit up, that's wired
with the torches and everything. Yeah,
everything like that. That's just such a great deal. I mean,
I got two sets right now, one of each. Like there's the square like-ish columns, and then there's the round column.
Yeah, I mean, they work so well for these things. They look awesome.
It's amazing. And then like the other day, I was like thinking, like, man, I got the new Silver Knight, and it came with a shield with the 4 Horsemen emblem, and that's why I was like, you know what? I'm gonna throw that on a freaking. I put some blue tack on the back of the shield thing and put it on the.
Yeah, I like that addition there. It's really nice up on that column.
Yeah, I was like, man, that looks really good. I'm like, I should see if he can just make one like with a little hole so you can just slip it in.
Yeah, I had some, when the whole Silver Knight thing was going, I was like, man, I really don't need those knights, but I need that shield.
The shield.
Like, that shield is awesome. So,
but the knights come with some it's a basic knight. It's just such a great builder. Like you can do so much with it. I'm like, especially with the Valiant Knight like part.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Just like with the Valiant Knight like posability.
Oh yeah,
in a builder, that's freaking awesome.
I should mention that 4 Horsemen, that the design, the sword horsemen that kind of would go with this shield, that was designed by Zombie 13, who was on a previous How'd They Do That. So I know he was super excited to see kind of the
shield it come to
brings that set together, which is really kind of cool. So okay, so here you've got you've got one that's you've got some of the looks like the rounded column in the back, and then you've got one of this kind of squared column in the front. Yeah, kind of more of like an inside
indoor shot,
inside a castle. Yeah, and then more of what like an outdoorsy shot here with the orc. So yeah, tell us a little bit about kind of putting these together and what's going on here.
Yeah, these are some like new ones that I've been trying to like change things up a little bit from what I normally do. So I was like, let me just try to set things up. Like I had like the screen on the camera, and I'm like, all right, let me see if I can just like move this a little bit here, move this a little bit there to make it look more dynamic and have a little bit more depth of field. And that's like these columns come in so handy because like I can put whatever behind it and blur it out. But there's some there's a barrel from Noble Air Customs. There's the chair and the table from Duart Studios. I tried to like mix many creators into like one photo as I can, as much as possible. And as far as the outdoor shot, I use Mr. C's Temple Ruins dio he had.
Oh, very cool.
And then I just added a little bit of Brian's. I love those columns, are just amazing. So I pretty much use them a lot now. And I'm like, people are going to get tired of seeing these things for a while, but so I just set them up with forethought.
As you're getting ready to put together a shot, do you immediately know I'm going to use this die? I'm going to use these parts? Or are you just kind of like shopping around, like walking through a store? Like, I'll take a little bit of this, a little bit of that. We'll take one of these guys. Like,
sometimes I do that. Sometimes it's random. Sometimes I have an idea of what I want, but then I'll have to change something because it doesn't fit the way I wanted it to.
Yeah.
Like this one was, I wanted like, I added a little bit of I made like a little like a piece of styrofoam and I made like a little rock. Mm-hmm. I tilted it onto Brian's column there, so
where it kind of looks like broken up ruins and stuff in the front.
Yeah, just to give it a little bit of different.
And then like the other one, like you got like a little stool there, like a table, you know, like just kind of figuring out where to put all this stuff, and then you know at the same time, then like what angle are you going to take the shot from, to where it's like, are you actually seeing those things, or are you seeing part of those things and that kind of stuff?
Well, sometimes it's like, sometimes I have a shot set up and I'll try to add like in the front there in that left picture, there's a weapons rack from Mythic Bits. Okay. So I wanted that to be like kind of in there, but like not completely visible.
Right.
Just something to add a little bit more depth to the picture. Like you have more like.
Yeah, even like that rock that you were talking about on the right picture, it's there and it's against it, and you can see, you get this kind of ruins feel to it, but it's also out of focus, right? So it's not so you don't the thing that your eye gets drawn to. Nice. It's a nice accessory to the photo, right? Yeah.
And sometimes when I do that, like when I'll change an angle, like I want to go to shoot from a different direction, but then I have to change the little pieces of the diode so you can still see them the way I want you to be seeing them.
Right.
Because sometimes like you change your angle, the torches aren't going to be in the camera view. So like I'll change the torch just a little, change the column a little bit just to make it so it's still visible.
Are you using any sort of special lenses or anything? I know like I remember Trevor said, I think it was like for Christmas, he got like a probing lens to like get into certain situations and stuff.
It sucks so bad because I want a probe lens like more than anything.
Oh, really?
Because I see all these pictures on like Instagram and I'm like, son of a, you're using a probe lens, aren't you? Yes, I am. I'm like,
yeah, I saw somebody that had like a whole Lego display and it was like a house. And then they did a photo from inside the house. And I'm like, how did they just take like that side of the house apart? It's like, no, they used a probe lens. They just kind of went in through the window or the front door.
Yeah, it's crazy because like everything's in focus. Like I use it for the most part. I use an 85 millimeter 1.8.
Okay.
And it's like a prime lens, they call it. It has that where you can set the f-stop, which is like, you know, your camera's how much light you're letting in. And that's my main go-to. I've tried using a wide angle lately. There's a couple of doing wide angle shots, but like I still can't do what a probe lens does because still not everything's in focus. And you got like a focus length where your camera lens will only focus up to a certain distance. If you try to get closer to the figure, it won't focus at all, like no matter what you do.
Right.
With probe lens, like you could be like, I mean, it's like that big, and it's like you're like, I want one so bad.
Are they expensive? Is that the thing?
They can be. I mean, I think I found one on Amazon, but it was like $700.
Ooh, man.
And that's minimum.
Like you know, I've just done. I mean, my photography is typically either customs or it's like something from a review that I'm trying to get a photo of. Like I just did Belualith this week, and I was like, man, I thought I got a pretty good shot, but it's all with just an iPhone. Like if this was the primary thing I was doing, it's definitely worth the investment. But for somebody that's just taking pictures of their customs and stuff, I think there's still some benefit to, you know, talking to folks like you and Trevor and Nate and D Amazing, because you do talk about kind of the setups and the lighting and stuff. So even if you don't have the best camera, you can still get a really good shot.
I mean, even not having the best camera, like lighting is really key.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and like it's iPhones. I mean, iPhones still take great photos. I mean, look at Elijah's.
Oh yeah, they get some great stuff outside and whatnot.
Like, are you got pictures there?
What kind of are you using? Like a soft overhead light, and like what does your lighting setup look like?
Well, I have two like overhead like key lights I use.
Okay.
Like they're overhead, and I can like they're on arms, so I can like move around. I should have like a box light, my old box light photo lights where I hang it up top. but which I might need because I have a dio that is being made. Well, fingers crossed that like it all works out. But Mr. C's making a big one. I don't know if you saw it, the dungeon.
Oh yeah, that's you.
I'm trying to like we have it set up where I'm going to do a payment plan to like get it, and I'm like,
very cool.
But the thing is freaking massive, and I'm like, it's like 4 feet wide.
His stuff is so good, man. I know for anybody that is interested, Mr. C on Instagram. I think it's Mr. C 50. Is it 50/50? Is that what it is?
I think so.
Let me just double check. I want to make sure I'm telling people the right thing. Yeah, Mr. C 50/50. I'll put that down here. Let me just add this to this banner real quick. But he does some great work, and he does like really big stuff. But then he also does like little dio, like DTOF pieces and stuff.
Like you said, that one on the right.
Yeah,
that one on the right is like a. Here, I'll just grab it quick. It's right here. It's nothing big. It's just like it's even smaller than a DTOF. You can put this like anywhere, but it'll fit in the DTOF nicely.
Let's see. Hold on, let me big in you. Oh yeah, that's nice.
Like it's just like
that's really cool. Yeah, he did one for me. I had seen one because I had asked him. I was like, man, how much do those things cost? And obviously the big ones are super expensive, and they all not only that, but they take up a lot of room. So
the
you have to have dedicated space to it, or you need to figure out how you're going to get it in and out. Like if you're going to do it for photography and stuff. But he was like, I do smaller ones. I said, man, I'd love to have like a DTOF size one.
Yeah.
And I saw that he had done like this cell, like a jail cell with shackles on the walls and stuff. And then he had done like a grate on the ground that had like a skeleton coming out of. I was like, dude, that's
awesome. I really like that one. That one's like fantastic.
And he made one of those for me, and it was really reasonably priced for that size. Like I've got other DTOF diodes from other people, and it was about in that same range. So, but yeah, he does some amazing stuff. So. All right, let's take a look at this next one. So here you've got like that cell. We were talking about some cell, and both of these have like chains and thwick involved. So I wanted to kind of put these on the same one. And I know I've reached out to you about this Brontis armor because that stuff, that is just, it's just a cool look.
That was fun.
But yeah, I love both of these shots, with the chain, with the cell, like everything just looks really cool. So tell us what's going on in these.
Well, it's funny because both of these are from the Goblin collaboration that we do on Instagram with Captain Firebreaker, and like it's been able to like make me do more stuff that I don't normally do. And the one was like a prison cell where like they were in prison. I'm like, all right, so I just set it up. The cell I got on eBay, I forget who the seller was, but like it was like a black basic setup. So I primed it in at Citadel Lead Belcher. Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And then I just added rust to it.
The rust effect looks great, dude. It totally looks worn and beat up, and And
then the chains are from who was it? They did that the banners. Was it that 13? The hell was it? The one that did the wolves, the D12 wolves, I think.
Oh, D20.
Yeah, the D20 wolves. Yeah. Where they have like the banners with the skulls on it.
Yep.
They had the chains. So I was like, all right, well, I can use those chains for this.
Gotcha.
And I wanted to make it so like
something you already had.
Yeah, so I just took that chain and I'm like, I took 2 of them and wrapped around like to make it look like they had the goblin like completely like enveloped in this stuff. So there's no way he's getting out.
Yeah.
And then like there's a
far about her taking his helmet. They're like, that's all right. You can keep the helmet, but we're gonna chain you up.
I took like a wider shot where it shows like there's previous cuffs they had him in like on the table and they were broken. Conan,
that's cool.
From the Barbarian one,
storytelling aspect of it.
Yeah, so it's like he already broke the previous chain, so we got to like step up our freaking game here and put him in like the amount of chains where he can't break out of it. And even then, he's still looking sinister enough. Like, yeah, you think this is gonna hold me?
See, I like that you have like this whole kind of thought process of what's actually going on here, right? It's not just putting photos or toys in a pose and taking a shot. Like you're trying to think through. Like
a storyline
happening, right? That's really cool. Do you ever like add that to your stuff? Like, the story that you had in your head?
I'm horrible at telling stories, so that's why I try to do the best I can with like the photo. Because sometimes I let people like try to make up their own story at the same time.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Like I don't want people to like just think, oh well, okay, well I want them to like kind of figure it out on their own, or even just make up their own story.
It's funny you say that because like we do, Jesse and I do the shelf selections on Sunday night, and we always we'll pull up a picture and we'll say, man, this picture just really tells a story. Like you can kind of imagine what's going on here. And like Jesse's story, when he looks at it, might be different than my story, but we both think it's cool. So that is nice that you kind of leave that up to, kind of the
viewer,
looking at it. That's cool.
I don't, because if I put it out there myself, then it's like people are kind of like, that's the only thing you see. But like if you leave it the option open, you make your own like kind of story out of it.
Yeah, and just the nice little touches, like the little skeleton in the background and stuff, like very cool. I love it. And then the one on the right, I know I've talked to you about this, the Brontis armor before, because I think it's awesome. But you painted all this, right?
Yeah. What was it? Oh, I sort of blank. Kevin Olson, I guess, had it, and he's like, well, I think it was like $100 for shipped for the whole armor set. I'm like, I want it. And then I took it and I painted. I had it all primed and painted, and then like the helmet, I was almost done, and I dropped the freaking helmet on the floor.
Oh,
and it cracked like the back piece of the helmet. I'm like, and it broke off. I'm like, son of a, I don't want to do another one. Luckily, I was able to like take a piece of super glue and just kind of like glue it on there and just be able to fix it without being too much of a problem. But yeah, I think I actually ordered another set of armor that I'm still like have waiting to paint because I don't know what I want to do with it yet.
Yeah, I might need to order a set from him because it just really changes the look of this character a lot. I love the way that it comes, especially with him being in that Coliseum wave and
exactly.
Yeah, it just feels like it fits for
him.
He
should have that some kind of armor being in the Coliseum fighting.
Yeah.
He's a big ass troll, but he still needs protection of some sort.
Right. And here we got a couple snag photos, which, listen, Goblin fans out there, Terrence, if you're watching, I'm sorry. But Swig is not the best Goblin. Snag is the best.
Swig is great because like he was the first one I was able to be like, okay, like when I first came into the line, I was like, Swig is fantastic because it's the first Goblin that grabbed my attention. But Snag is just like, he has his like that look about him, like it's that big ass nose,
the nose, the ears, the smile,
like the smirk.
He's just this little thief that, like,
exactly.
Like so in my collection, I've got everything pretty much separated by faction, except for Snag. Snag is in with the Laodicea stuff because he's stealing from Attila, like he's stealing gold from him.
Gotcha.
So I just love his story and everything, and even like when you look at like his weaponry and stuff, it's like all mixed matched stuff that it's like he picked up along the way. Like it's not like stuff that makes sense.
It's just like random stuff he picked off of like dead bodies or whatever, or
right?
Soul or
So here you got a couple Snag shenanigans. One, he's there by Noglin. There's some gold in that treasure. I'm sure that he's got some plans for that. And then over here, he's actually holding a skeleton arm and kind of waving it at this other skeleton. So,
well, no, it's funny because like I shot from other angles too. Like he actually stole that arm off that skeleton.
Oh, yeah, it's his other. I can see it's missing.
His other arm is missing. He took it from the skeleton and was like, haha, look what I got. You want to flip me off? Okay, I got you right back. And those hands were custom made, by Dylan.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And I love using them. It's just fun way to add a little bit of fun to the photo.
So the one on the left, is that same kind of wasteland dio that we saw in the first picture with the barbarian?
Yes.
Okay. And it's just from a different angle and
different angle,
focusing and stuff. So you're able to like reuse, dio pieces without it looking like the same photo.
That's what I try to do. Sometimes it doesn't happen, but sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Where the one base dio I made is like there's a road, and then like I have a bunch of holes in different spots where you can plug trees in or different flowers or plants and something to make it look a little bit different. Because I like to get the most value they can out of one piece.
Gotcha. And then the one on the right, you've got like this throne set up, and then the whole like chest with the treasure in there and stuff.
Yeah.
So where's that all come from?
Well, the throne is from Crap, I have a brain fart here. Got on Instagram. Why am I shooting a blank here? I can't remember. I'll think of it.
That's fine. Just let me know. I can throw it in the description afterward. So, and then the treasure.
The chest is from Mezco. Was it one of the Mezco ones? John Wick.
Oh, okay.
I took that, and it's a gun case where they have like a bunch of guns in it and stuff. And I'm like, okay.
Oh, gotcha.
I left that in there just so like I didn't have to fill the whole chest up. I just left it flat in there, and then I had like ordered some gold pieces off Amazon, and they feel like they're heavy, like they're not like plastic. They're like actual metal. Yeah, that's why I think they got that like shine to it.
Oh, you'll have to send me a link afterwards, and I can throw it into the description of the video because that sounds awesome.
Because they're like real hefty. You can see some of the coins that are still from I forget what. There was another Mezco like another little accessory kit.
Yeah, I'll need to get that because I made a little like Hobby Lobby has like these little treasure chests that kind of open that you can get, right? And then I saw somebody that had done where you take like gold like for photo books and stuff, like you got that like gold scrapbooking paper. And like, folded it over, kind of glued the two sides together, and then hole punched it and made like little gold coins. But like where you're hole punching it, like around the edge, it's white, like the paper.
It's white, yeah.
So unless you go over each one with like a gold chrome pen or something, like and that's a lot.
That's a lot of work, yeah.
So yeah, I think something like that would be cool. So yeah, if you can give me a link afterwards, I'll definitely add that to the video.
Yeah, I'll definitely look for that. I'll see my Amazon, and I'll just look at my previous orders and. Because I mean they're heavy. Like I was like, there's actually like some weight to it. I'm like, this is great because then I don't have to worry about them like blowing away or me knocking them over so much.
Very cool. Let's see. Then we've got. I had to give this one its own slide, like because this is a big boy.
Baradak.
Yeah, Baradak. It looks. Now is this a crash box tie-up?
No, this is from Brian Lynn.
Oh wow, wow. He did a killer job on it.
It's funny because it was at Muskegon.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, that because he was going to have the dungeon there that he did, which I really loved. But I know Trevor. I think Trevor and Nate were.
Yeah, they were fighting over it.
They were fighting over that one. I'm like, you know what? Well, since they're fighting over that one, I'll take this one.
I'll swoop in and get this giant one. Okay. Very cool.
And actually, Dirk's Designs picked it up for me and was able to ship it to me. So I was like, thank you. I appreciate that.
Very cool. Dirk's a great dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, nothing really fancy going on here. I mean, you got some lighting coming in. You got the torches in the background. Like it's a very static shot. But
yeah, it's just a basic. He's guarding the door. Like ain't no one getting past me.
But the fact that you're doing it kind of from that low angle looking up makes him look very imposing. I mean, he's already a big character anyway.
Yeah.
It just makes him feel very imposing.
Like he's got that big beefiness to him.
Yeah.
And he don't even have the leg extenders, so.
Yeah.
Which I still gotta get.
Which you should have on him.
Yeah, well, I didn't know at the time. I was like, okay, I would have got one, but.
We will definitely have them at Legion's Con. So.
Yeah, and I like the candles.
And then like this, okay, so we've got skeletons and zombies here. And these skeletons, this is not a photo that I would expect to see with skeletons. It is very different from most of the stuff I see with the graveyard skeletons. So tell us about the inspiration behind this one.
Well, I was listening to some music. Music tends to be like a big inspiration for some of my photos. And I was listening to Ghost, and they had like this one photo, like that deals about death and stuff like that. Like, I was like, let's have like two skeletons. Like they were just like it's the end of the world, like apocalypse kind of thing.
Yeah.
Or they were embracing each other in their last moments, and then like nature's growing back around them.
It's very like just sweet for.
Yeah,
normally
not something you normally see with Mythic Legion,
right? Like the zombies on the right is more what we see, right?
Exactly.
The scary kind of heavy metal cover, sort of like just really terrifying thing. And then over here, it's like this is just like this sweet embrace, like, and once again, you could leave it up to the person looking at it to tell a story, like. are these skeletons that we know in the Mythic Legion where they're still alive?
They're still alive, moving.
Or is this two people that embraced and then their bodies kind of decayed the way they would, and this is what kind of came out of it? And through that like decaying process, you know, all of the fauna and stuff around them kind of grew up
like flourishes, like they're fertilizer.
Right.
Yeah.
That's how I looked at it. Was more
that was my feeling behind it when I was doing it. Yeah.
It's just a really cool feeling to that one. I love it. And then, you know, the one on the right is just like, I have to say that detached jaw on the Undead Builder Pack might be the coolest piece that they've put out.
I love that one.
It is so creepy and weird, and it just makes for awesome photos.
Yeah, because this is the way it hangs, like it's just hanging by a thread, like it could fall off at any moment.
Yeah, for sure. And then, you know, they're surrounding a goblin here. So like what's going on in this photo?
Well, like I forget what the theme was that week, but it was along the lines of the theme where like they were like overtaken or whatever. Like, and like
Gotcha.
You think there's no way out for him. Like, is he really gonna find a way out? And like that goblin I made, I took a goblin builder and it's like, you know, I just threw a bunch of rust on him and make him look like he's just been out in the elements like way too long.
Oh, okay. It's probably the lighting because I see some like red lighting coming in the side.
Yeah,
it kind of looked blood armor to me. It looked like you had done like
because it's like a darker rust.
Gotcha.
I should have went back over with some like regular, like a lighter rust color, but
I don't know. I like it. I was like,
I'll leave it like that.
A blood armor goblin. I was like, that's cool.
But like, yeah, like there's no way. It's like there's no way out of it. Like he's done, but like he's struggling to get out of there.
For sure. All right. Next, another one that I had to give like a full screenshot to herself. You know, this first off, I just did this review, and this character is bonkers. Like,
so good.
There is so much tooling on this character. It's crazy.
Between the pauldrons,
if you're channel member, not a channel member, I did do Exploded figure review on this Belualith.
I gotta watch that one yet.
It is the longest one I've ever done. I'm just going to tell you because there's so much new tooling on it, like individual parts that you haven't seen in other characters, that it just took me a long time. I ended up with, I think, 4 hours of footage.
Wow.
That I ended up weeding down to like an hour and 20 minutes. But it was like I would go through something and I would say, hey, this could be used for this. And I'm like, wait a minute, no, it can't be used for that. And then I'd go, well, this can't fit in here. And then oh wait, it does fit in here. Like that fits in the same spot. Like it was just things where I would say something that I thought was right, and then I would find out it was wrong, or I would find out that one more thing came apart that I didn't know came apart. It was a fun exploration of this character. And this photo just does a great job of, because her story, for anybody who doesn't know, is that she's like this beast master, right? So she is one of the children of Necronominus, but she controls the Terpiculi. She's got a chimera. She's got a bird. She's got a snake that are all skeletal creatures. So even though this isn't her horse, this is her father's horse. This is Conibus. Like seeing her with kind of her arm like up the, you know, kind of embracing this horse, and he's kind of nuzzled up to her, it just feels right with her story. And then like you've got this whole kind of scene around her that just you just did a really good job of bringing this character and her story to life.
Yeah, because I mean everyone was doing pictures with the chimera and like the Terpiculi, and I'm like, I want to do something a little bit different, like taking care of her father's horse, you know, like making sure he's good and everything, and kind of like having like an intimate moment kind of with him, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't spent a ton of time around horses, but my grandparents had a horse, and you know, you'd go and like, you know, feed them an apple or something, and they are very affectionate creatures, right? Like especially if you're giving them food.
Exactly.
And so this just feels right, especially with her backstory. So yeah, I love it. And then, you know, this looks kind of like I don't know if it's the same Wasteland Dio, but it's a very Wasteland looking thing with some kind of red lighting and stuff. It's my normal
Dio based one with the road and stuff.
Okay.
But I threw some fog in, and then the tree on the right is from Terraformer on Instagram,
Okay.
and then the tree on the left I made,
Okay.
and then I just added little pieces here and there, like little plants and stuff like that.
Very cool. I love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Here we've got first
Jesse's
off,
favorite.
Jesse's favorite, the Thistlethorn, and he just looks like he's just in bliss right now. I mean, this guy is just happy as could be, relaxing, big smile on his face. It's one of those characters that I never knew that I needed until I got it, and
Until you got it.
I started like seeing the toy photography with it and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's weird, like he's got this face that, depending on the photo that you take,
Depending on the angle.
yeah, depending on the angle, depending on the movement, whatever, like sometimes he can look happy, sometimes he can look relaxed, sometimes he can look thoughtful, sometimes he can look like he's in action. Like it just really depends on how you set him up, but it's just
the angle that you take it at depicts his like what kind of smile, maybe a smile, smirk, or a sneer.
Right.
And the
like
way that pose, he looks happy.
He just looks like he's in bliss, man. Like,
yeah, like he's just content.
Yeah, like this is his best day, you know.
Like I made it so like he was laying there so long that like mushrooms grew around him.
Yeah, there you go. And then on the right, we've got, of course, Swig. And you know, for those that don't know, Swig has this whole story where he, you know, drank this potion. He created a bunch of extra copies of himself, 1,000 to be precise, because there was a digit error when they were ordering him, and
some guy just happened to push an extra 0.
Yeah, there ended up being like an extra 1,000 of this Swig, and so so they had to sell them, so they came up with that story. And I love the incorporation of all the stuff that you have here. Like I look at this, I'll be honest, first thing that I think is it gives me anxiety trying to think of setting up all this stuff. Like you got some Frankenstein parts, you've got some of these little, you know, the beakers with the plugs in them and stuff. You got the candle there, all the books in the background and the shelving and all this kind of stuff. Like I look at this and go, man, that must have taken forever to put together. And then I think about you and all of, you know, kind of the things
the Parkinsons,
and I'm like, oh my God, like I can't even imagine the stress of putting this shot together.
It took a while. Like this was one of like I was like, I'm gonna be here a while. So like the books, the books in the shelf I found on Amazon. So I was like, okay, I found the shelf, but I didn't have enough.
Like one piece, or are they individual?
The shelf is all one piece, but like the books are individual.
Oh, so that's what I'm saying. So like all,
and I had to order
you have to put into the shelf itself.
I had to order extra books because it didn't come with many books to fill it.
Wow.
So I went and ordered a bunch of extra books and like kind of just like slid them in, and then like I had all the knickknacks on the top shelf where I was like, I took a little blue tack and put it on the bottom and like kind of stuck it in. So I made sure it wouldn't move when I like move a photo.
So like, I'm sorry, where did you say the bookshelf was from?
Amazon.
I'm gonna need a link on that too. We're gonna have to hit you up afterwards and get a link for the gold, the bookshelf, books, anything else that we've seen here, because people are gonna want this stuff.
Yeah,
I definitely need that bookshelf. That's awesome.
And then I actually ended up ordering another bookshelf because I wanted one like Frankenstein, like 2 on both sides. Like I had one, I might as well get for both. So I was like, whatever.
Very cool.
But like, Swig is great because like the little potion bottles. I think I got them on Amazon too.
Very cool. So are you like with some of this little stuff, are you like putting it in there with like tweezers or something, or are you just like hand putting all this stuff in here and kind of moving around? Like what does that look like?
A lot of these are by hand, but like I have one I'm going to be working on, just aggravating me because I'm already having like panic attacks thinking about it. This little chess set.
Oh, okay. So you got to have the little chess pieces and stuff.
These little tiny chess pieces. I'm like, how the F am I going to put that together?
Yeah, I tell you what I would do is I would do it one time, and when I do it, I would glue them, and then we never have to do it again.
I'm like, how the hell am I going to put all these pieces on this board?
That is
this
funny.
Is not going to work right.
Very cool. And then here we've got, now I am not a Spexian guy. I'm
not really either.
I'm an anti-Spexian guy. I've started to take my Spexians and turn them into Tusk, because they did that the build last year with the Legions Con exclusive set that kind of used some of the longer
parts,
Spexian arms in a Tusk build, and I really liked that look.
Yeah.
That said, The wings on this one are spectacular.
That's what I love most about that one was the wing.
Yeah. And so the fact that you've incorporated the wings with the lighting back there and then this whole kind of, smoky vibe going on here, it's just really neat shot. I love how this came out.
Yeah, like this, like one of those things I was like, when they listen to music and I just had this idea like, okay, well, I'm going to put this together. And I had the fog from the fog machine I got, and then the skeleton, I like just broke him in half and put in like he's coming out of the dirt. And it's one of those ones that just kind of came out of nowhere.
Very cool. And then on the right side, we've got spoiler alert for anybody that hasn't opened up their Jacob Marley. But we've got the head from the Jacob Marley safe, as well as like his chains and stuff that he comes with. And you've made like a whole custom character here.
Yeah.
That you've then put with that goblin that we saw earlier, with the kind of rust effect.
Yep.
And it looks like he's kind of,
like his prisoner.
Yeah. So
kind of like guiding him through like the undead land and trying to get him to his cell.
So, in addition to like creating some of your own dios, you're buying pieces and putting them together, but you're also creating your own characters. You're doing some painting, you're doing some pop and swaps. You're
to an extent
together in order to like, get these shots. So yeah, tell us a little bit about that, like your inspiration for actually creating characters.
Well, it's funny because this one here is like I made it kind of like along the lines because like with Parkinsons you get like this weight and you feel like drugged down and heavy, and this was kind of like how Parkinsons could make you feel. But then I was like, I'm not going to just use it just for that. I use it for other things, but this went along the line. So like some characters, and actually Jesse helped with the one because we're doing a D&D game soon. I don't know exactly when, but I made one for my character on that too. So I don't paint much, but when I do it, like I can't do eyes. Like eyes are just like forget it. But like simple things like adding dots or painting certain parts of armor, nothing too like extravagant. There's so many other creators out there that are just like.
Yeah, I mean, dry brushing is one of the easiest things that you can do, right? Like literally anybody could do that. I don't care. You can have whatever excuse in the world that you want. Anybody can dry brush. I don't care.
Yeah.
It's like the most easiest thing you can do. And it's actually very rewarding because when you dry brush, it'll pick up all of those like raised
little details. Yeah.
And it really makes it pop with very little effort. So
yeah, like a little black wash and a little dry brush will like
totally. Yeah.
Change the whole feel of a figure.
Very cool.
Like what you did with the McFarlane one. What one was that one again?
I've done a few, but I think the Doomsday one was the best one that I did.
Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of. I was just like, holy crap, that makes
like I looked at it and I was like, man, the sculptural details are there. They just in
they
order
don't pop.
to keep the figure reasonably priced, they did not do a lot of paint apps. And it's like
exactly
if you just spend a little time on this thing, it would look great. And
exactly.
It's night and day. And it's not anything to do with me. I mean, most of what I did some airbrushing on it, mostly for like the base colors. It wasn't like the finished product. A lot of it was dry brushing and washes, just like you said. So, and then here, okay, I think we're finishing on a couple Frankenstein photos, and I want to kind of touch on the Figure Obscura line as a whole, because I feel like for toy photographers, like this thing is just a gold mine, right? Like first off, it's instant recognizable what it is.
Yeah.
So you take a photo and people, regardless of people collect toys or know who the horsemen are or anything like that, they see
who the figure is.
And they're like, I know what this is, right? So I think that's one thing that works in favor of toy photographers. The other thing is that they've used the Figure Obscura line to introduce all of these extra like accessories,
parts,
right? Like you've got that the head on the table with the glass, covering on it. You've got that table. You've got beakers. You've got all these kind of things that's with that Frankenstein. The Red Death comes with the clock, and you've seen all the stuff with the Christmas ones and stuff. So I'd like to have you talk a little bit about Figure Obscura line as a whole and kind of what it's like taking a photo of something that is a known character versus like one of your own creations, or a Mythic Legion character, that kind of thing.
It's great because like you know what kind of setting they're going to be in, so you already know, like, if once you find out that you're waiting for the package to show up at your house, your mind is already going like, well, what do I need to do with this one? And as soon as Frankenstein's Creature came out, I share this big connection with Frankenstein's Creature. Like, it's one of my favorite because like I'm being set up to have a brain surgery done where they drill holes in your head and they put little probes in to help with the Parkinsons. So like essentially, I'm going to be like a Frankenstein's freaking creature. So like, I had this kind of connection to it where it's like kind of the same. And I'm like, already thinking of like I'm going to have the tattoos of the Frankenstein's little stitches around the head and stuff like that. But like, it's just, Frankenstein was one of my favorite like figure obscures like ever. And the first one, I mean, was Headless Horseman.
Krampus was the first one.
Krampus was the first, and then it was Headless Horseman.
Well, Krampus was the first one, but they weren't even calling it figure obscura then. It was just a thing.
Yeah, and then they started.
It's not mythic. It's not cosmic. It's just a thing.
It's its own thing.
Yeah. And
that was a fun one.
The next one was Headless Horseman, which was actually, labeled in the figure obscura package.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. So
yeah, that was like, the whole line is just great because you can do so much. And you're like I said, you already like, when you see what it is, when you go to order, you're like, okay, well, I got some time to think about what I want to do. So like when I get one, like I know tomorrow's coming, I'm like, as soon as we figure it out, I'm like, shit, well, what do I do?
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm like,
so for anybody watching this is going to air on Monday after it's come out. So by the time people watch this, they will know what it is.
They know what it is.
Currently, we're sitting here on Friday. It's just been teased. We don't know for sure. I think there's some really good indications that it's a Jersey Devil.
I'm thinking that too. It's leading that way like a lot.
Yeah. So when something like that comes out, so like they do the tease, you think you might know what it is. Before you even see it, are you starting to in your head to go, okay, when I get this, here's
what kind of setting? Usually what I do is like, what kind of setting am I looking at?
Yeah.
Like, I'm thinking, all right, Jersey Devil, Jersey pines, so like a pine forest there, something dark, like almost nighttime with a little bit like sun coming in from somewhere, like the sun's getting ready to set. Maybe like someone's like a house, like in the distance, like like with light coming out of the window. But like a lot of it's going to be too also what I see with Bill do on Door Glare.
Gotcha.
Because I like watching his. As soon as the figure obscure drops, I go watch his video, and I'm like, all right, let's see what we're looking at as far as like how the character is built and stuff like that. Because he does a great job with the reviews. And
yeah, I know a lot of them. I don't listen. I've never claimed to be a smart man. Okay. And then so I don't want to speak for you. I'm just going to speak for myself here, and you can tell me if this relates to you at all. But a lot of times the figure obscura comes out, and either I have no knowledge of what that character is, or I've heard of it, but I really don't know. Right. And so until I have Darla, my wife, read me the bio, and until the book comes in and kind of learn from that, or watch Bill's video and kind of learn about the character, I really don't know. So for you, have you ever kind of, as ones come out and you maybe learn a little bit more about it, has any of that stuff that you've picked up, whether it's from the bio, from Bill's videos, like the knowledge of the character itself, kind of transformed how you would do the photography?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, it depends, like, because I mean, like, with the Jersey Devil, like everyone's heard of like the Jersey Devil, but like I don't know a whole lot about the Jersey Devil. So I'll be like looking up more about it, like Google it and see, what can I pick up that's like key parts of the story to kind of try to mix in.
Gotcha. Very cool. And then here's, I think, the last shot that we've got for the day, which I think, I know Trevor did some of his photos that he turned into black and white for when this was actually first announced.
Yeah,
I think this character just really lends itself well to black and white photos. And I love this shot. I think this shot, once again, you talk about telling a story, you talk about emotion of a photograph and stuff, right? And this just feels like there's a lot of emotion in this shot. So tell us a little bit about this one.
This one's just kind of like all along the lines of like him, like just trying to figure out like like where he comes from and what this is curiosity.
Gotcha.
It's like, where did this come from? Well, this is from something else, or whose head is this? Or it's like he's like curious. Like he's got that like you think of like Frankenstein. He's got like a child's mind almost. Mm-hmm. Because he's just this creation that someone made, and he's like trying to figure things out. Like you don't know where he's kind of lost.
See, from the story that came along with it and everything like that, like I learned quite a bit about this, and then kind of hearing that he wanted the Dr. Frankenstein to kind of create a bride for him and create a someone for him to care about and love, and he was going to, and then kind of refused at the last minute. Like to me, this is almost like an after the fact kind of like this is kind of what could have been. Like him kind of staring at this going, this could have been somebody for me or whatever. Yeah. And maybe that's thinking too much into this, but that's kind of what I got.
It could be too.
There's almost like a sadness about it.
And that's the thing. Like that's where I like leaving the story open, because everyone picks different things out of it. Mm-hmm. Like you said with Frankenstein, there's always like everyone pictures him as a monster, but they don't see like he's like tortured.
Yeah,
he's got his own things he's dealing with. He seems like a monster to everybody else, but like he's his own person. Like he doesn't know anything.
This isn't a life that he chose, right?
Yeah.
Like he was created without his, he didn't consent to be created into the monster that he, was put together to be. And now it's like, how do you just live your life? How do you go on? What do you do? Yeah, it's very sad tale, actually. All right. Well, that is it for the photos. But we've definitely touched on a lot of the stuff with kind of your predicament and some of the things that you are trying to overcome while you're doing this. Any other advice that you'd have for folks out there, that whether it's they just don't feel like they're good enough, or whether they feel like there's some sort of obstacle preventing them from doing things, like what advice would you have for people that just need that extra little oomph to get going?
I mean, I get that, because like everyone gets that thing when like, oh, this is really it's not that good or whatever. Because like I go through it all the time. I look at Trevor's photos, I'm like, holy crap, dude, this is just like insane. But I'm like, at the same time, I'm like, everyone's different. Everyone has a different style. There's room for everybody, like to be like in the community and just pretty much have fun. Like that's the biggest thing, like having fun with the stuff you do, and like think about what you want to do and just do your own thing. Like, and don't be afraid to like do things that are different.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. And it's just all of this stuff, whether we're talking about popping and swapping, whether we're talking about posing figures, whether we're talking about photography, dios, whatever. Yeah, it's trying to capture that little bit of fun with these toys, right? Like a little bit of that from our youth, and just enjoying these things. So whatever that is for you, I say this as somebody that struggles with this myself. Like I love painting. When I'm painting, I am relaxed. I am focused. A lot of times my mind's going like bouncing to a bunch
all
of
over the place.
Yeah. I will have like just this week. I'll tell you, I got 3 How'd They Do That's planned this week. I've got an off-world that I got to get a bracket set up for. I had a Bluelith video that was 4 hours long that I had to edit down and get updated. I had some other drama going on inside the cabal that I had to deal with.
I know
it's a lot of stuff, right?
Yeah.
And it's like my brain is normally going bing, 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 and I'm doing part of this project and part of that project, and nothing's getting accomplished.
Yep.
And when I'm painting, I hyper focus on the one thing that I'm doing, and it's the one time that my brain just goes quiet, right? And it's like, man, this is kind of nice, right? But getting myself to that place of doing it is a lot of times hard to do, because you go, well, I've got all these other things that I need to do. How can I justify sitting down and painting, even though I know that's going to be good for me? How can I justify doing that when I've got all these other things going on? And you really just got to make time for it. You got to do it, because
you get bombarded with.
Yeah.
And that's like the ADHD mind, where your mind, like, because you can focus on one thing, but you like have to you tend to go to hyper focus. Mm-hmm. It's either hyper focus or your focus is everywhere. There's no in between.
Right.
And it's just like, shit, I want this to do, but I have this to do first. And like, I have so much painting I wanted to do, but like it gets pushed to the side because I'm doing like photos, and I'm like, I realize I can't do everything.
Mm-hmm.
That's why like I like doing dio stuff because yeah, it saves me a little bit of money. But at the same time, it's taking up all my time.
Right. Yeah. I mean, like you look at this stuff and it's like, oh man, I'd like to, like one of the things I would love to do 3D sculpting. I think 3D sculpting
Yeah.
is super fun. But
I tried doing it once and I was like, what?
Where am I going to fit it in? Like, you know, I've got all these other stuff going on. So it's like, you don't want to overexert yourself either. But I think you just have to make sure that you're making time for doing the things that make you happy.
Really want to do. And kind of leave your own mark. Don't try to be somebody else. Try to leave your mark on your work, like so people know it's you.
Absolutely. Very cool. Well, check out Dub3's work on Lacertaphoto on Instagram. He also posts in the Cabal on a regular basis, so check it out there. Unless it's AI, and then it doesn't go in the Cabal; it goes somewhere else.
It goes to the Legions. It goes to the Legions Cabal.
There you go. But yeah, this has been a lot of fun. I appreciate it. I'm gonna put you backstage. If you've got to run, totally get it. If not, hang out, and I'll be right back with you.
Gotcha.
All right, thanks, man. Appreciate you being
Bye, everybody.
See ya. All right, folks, that was William Wallace Harris III, Dub3, Lacertaphoto, whatever you want to call him. Just call him because he likes to hear from you. But yeah, he does some awesome stuff, folks, and I think it's just it's inspirational. The stuff that he's able to accomplish with the stuff that he's overcome. And so just make sure you're making time for this stuff. I know earlier this year when I talked to Nate Barch, he said something about like, you know, each person has like 10,000 bad drawings in them, right? So until you get those bad drawings out of you, you can't get to the good ones. And it's the same thing for pretty much anything you do. Like you got to just do it. And maybe you're not going to be happy with your success at first, but just keep doing it and keep doing it and ask for help or share your things. And it's a community where people are willing to share information. They're willing to give you tips. You know, so yeah, do it, have fun. And just, you know, don't let things get in your way. Make time for yourself. All right. So that even if you're in the hustle and bustle of everyday life and family and work and everything else going on, YouTube, you know, Facebook groups, whatever, you may have a lot of stuff going on. Make sure you make time for yourself because it's very important. I hope that you guys found something beneficial in this. If you use any of the stuff that you heard here, and you know, go and post something of your own, make sure you tag Dub, tag myself. We would love to see what you come up with. And until next time, folks, keep creating.